Hey, hello everyone, and thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, spring brings new life to the Pavilion Pool and Bruce Trent Park. The pool has reopened just in time for the hot weather, and plans are ahead for a new playground at the park. Here to discuss these topics and a whole lot more is the councilwoman who represents Ward 2. Of course, it's Victoria Seaman. You know who it is. Welcome back. How are you?
So happy to be here.
It's good to see you. We have a full show. A lot going on in Ward 2.
A lot.
And yeah, it's exciting time of the year. You know,
very exciting.
Spring's here, and that means
we're opening up.
Yeah, we're opening up, and the state's opening up again. And yeah, lots to talk about. So we're going to jump right on that. You and I know Ward 2 well. We live there. It's our stomping ground. But if you're not exactly sure where Ward 2 is located, well, don't worry. We're going to show you on the map. It's that area appropriately enough with the 2 on it. But basically west of the Rainbow Curve, if you're trying to get your bearings a little bit, if you live in that area or work in that area, then you are in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And of course, if you're a resident out there, you are represented by Victoria Seaman on the city
And it's
council.
growing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
It is. That area west of the 215, we always talk about, it's booming out there.
Booming.
So, yeah. So it's exciting.
Very.
Yeah. And speaking of booming, we're very happy about this. You posted this on Facebook. I love it. I'm so excited to be out here on such a beautiful day to reopen the Pavilion Center pool here at Veterans Memorial Center. Now, this was a long time coming because we did a real complete renovation of that pool.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this, those kids out there were so excited, and it's just in time for kids to get back in that pool.
Exactly.
It's the most utilized pool in the city of Las Vegas and probably the Valley.
I'm thinking the whole state of Nevada.
I'm thinking west of the Mississippi.
Let's just say that. Let's just say that. I like that. But yeah, regardless, it is a very, very busy place.
Well, you know, some of the great things that they are doing there that I found out. Well, you know, it's our sandpipers train there.
Yeah, they swim
and
too. Yeah.
We have a coach out there training young women for the Olympics.
Wow.
So it's a very utilized pool. It's a beautiful pool. It's a huge pool. And I got to tell you, those kids were amazing. They were so excited. And look at the beautiful
synchronized swimming
they did.
Yeah.
Put on that show for all of us. It was amazing.
You know, folks, it's basically, for all intents and purposes, a new pool. It's been completely redone. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, by all means do. You are going to be pleasantly surprised. It's like we started over from scratch.
That's right.
And there you go. So beautiful facility, and we are open again. Now there's some restrictions. You got to wear a mask when you're not in the water, that kind of stuff. But otherwise, it's open to the public and ready to go. So check it out.
Very excited about that.
Exactly. I love it. And that wasn't the only thing that is new and exciting in Ward 2. The pool is cool, but also Bruce Trent Park, big time thing, new playground, art in the park.
Correct.
This is really close to my house, and so
we're really excited. We had everyone come out, Great Outdoors Nevada, my staff, the actual CEO of Burke Playground, who actually, where we got the playground, flew out from Wisconsin, Women's National Carpenters, the Carpenters Union, I could go on and on, the Girl Scouts, IKEA, they all came out to build our playground. And what's so nice is we started this. We're the first in Las Vegas where we had a volunteer build the playground.
Wow.
So I hope that trend kind of continues because it really involves the community into the building of the park and into the park.
Yeah.
So.
And Bruce Trent Park is so heavily utilized, everyone. It's at the corner of Vegas and Rampart. We have the farmers market there. There are tennis courts there. Right adjacent to it is the sports park. So, plus there are trails that start or end there, depending on how you want to look at it. And so.
And we now started the art in the park.
Yeah, and we have the art in the park there too. So it is heavily utilized. Yes. So that playground. Yes. Much needed. And yeah, let's talk about art in the park too.
Yeah, well, people need to come out because we have new pavilion where people can have barbecues and parties. So we just gave the whole park a facelift. So I'm really excited. And especially now that things are opening up, it's a great time for people to go out and explore those parks. And yes, the art in the park, we started a new trend, which we're going to continue. And it's getting local artists who actually have it's their handmade art. We make sure that it's not mass-produced stuff, but we had about 50 booths out there. We had jazz music, we had food trucks, and this is something that we're going to continue. So if you missed this one, make sure you
don't miss the next one.
Don't miss the next one. Hopefully we're going to have it, I think, around October, first week of October.
Awesome, because in the past you had to go to Boulder City, right, to the art fair out there.
That's not
going to
happen
Yeah,
anymore.
now you can just literally I can walk there.
Yes,
so I
yes.
love that. So thanks so much. Love the fact that we're doing that. And Councilwoman, we just had Easter, was not too long ago, Passover, those holidays. You posted this on Facebook. You said it was great to be able to provide these beautiful Easter baskets to the very special individuals at Desert Regional Center. I wish them all a wonderful Easter.
Yes, and I have to say, my Chief of Staff, Dave McGowan, actually informed me about the Regional Center, and so every year he's been involved in doing Easter treats for them, and he got me involved because these kids, they're with special needs.
Yeah, special needs kids out there, and they got a beautiful Easter. And
they had a beautiful Easter, and I got to tell you, my Chief of Staff is constantly volunteering them, bringing them things, and finding out what their needs are, so the rest of us know about it.
Yeah, well, very well done there. And you also posted this on Facebook. You said, I want to congratulate the Las Vegas Police Protective Association on a fantastic Easter celebration. Now, this was a big deal that took place right around the Easter holiday as well.
Right, and it's so amazing. These are all law enforcement families that they do this for every year. It's the LVPPA.
PPA, right?
And
right.
they do this, they have different events for law enforcement families, and it was just amazing. You could see the children were having so much fun and enjoying. It was a day before Easter, so they really had a good holiday.
Yeah, that was the April 3rd, that's Easter Saturday there. Now, Councilwoman, your family was involved in law enforcement when you were growing up, right?
Yes, my father, he was not only a police officer, but then later he was a California Highway Patrolman.
Yeah, that's right.
Then he taught law enforcement. And my husband, a special agent. So I've been very involved with them, and they're near and dear to my heart.
I know, you've always said
that.
And
anything I can do to participate with them, because I understand being a family of law enforcement.
Yeah. It's something you carry every day, because your loved one goes off to do the job, and it's not like kind of the rest of us going off to do our jobs. There has that
you don't
element,
know if they're coming home.
Yeah, it has that element of danger that most of us don't have to worry about every day.
Right.
So,
And so I love seeing all the families together and enjoying celebrations like Easter, and it's just good to be involved. It kind of brings me back to my childhood.
Yeah, well, obviously a big celebration there with the PPA on Saturday. And then, Councilwoman, you didn't rest. It just keeps going here. We had a lot of questions about COVID relief, a lot of questions about COVID in general, and we fielded so many of those here at the city. Our call center, our website, all of our resources here were really geared toward trying to respond to people's questions. And a lot of what we heard was about, hey, what is available? We know there's money that the federal government has set aside. Can you help us get plugged in some of that to some of that for business or rental assistance or whatever it might be?
Well, I think we did our part as a city. We were able to facilitate the funds that we had, but there was state and federal money out there that a lot of businesses didn't know about. And when this came to my office's attention, thanks to Irene Bustamante Adams, who I had served with in the legislature, she brought it to my attention. Hey, come out and see what we're doing over here with Nevada Workforce. And there was all this money that was available, federal money. So we decided to team up with them and really bring awareness to the business community and have an event that they could come out and hear from all these different resources and find out how they could utilize some of that money, because businesses, we know, have suffered tremendously.
Sure, a small business especially.
Oh, it was a great turnout, and it was very informative, and I'm so grateful that we did it. And once again, I didn't even know about some of this money that was available, and it was good that people reach out to me and my staff, and we were really able to do something for the community. I was really grateful.
Yeah, that took place on March 16th at one of the libraries here in town. The thing with this, Councilwoman, is that you hit on this, is very important. There are still funds that are potentially available out there.
For sure.
So before the end of the show, we're going to tell you how to get in touch with the Councilwoman's office or the city in general, and we'll help you as best we can to get plugged in to figure out where some of those resources still exist.
And my office will be of great help to anyone who needs to find out where what they need to do.
We've gotten good at it. Everybody here at the city's gotten pretty good at it because we had so many questions. Our website had, millions, literally millions of clicks when it came to COVID information, relief information.
I think the city's done a great job. I have to give kudos to everyone here at the city. I think collectively everyone did such a fabulous job in doing what we could. There's a lot of things we couldn't do, but we would try to lead people to the right resource.
Absolutely.
So
it was a time where the community really needed us, and so that's what we're here for.
We stepped up, didn't we?
That's our job.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Councilwoman, speaking of COVID and stepping up, like this, snacks for the volunteers out at Veterans Memorial. We talked about Veterans Memorial. That's out in Ward 2 where the pool is located. And we had a lot of volunteers. We've had a lot of volunteers working to give vaccines, to coordinate vaccines through this whole thing. Prior to that, testing. And so here you are. You went out and said, hey, thanks to all those folks that put their masks on, rolled up their sleeves, and got to work.
Our city's amazing. So we've just had so many volunteers all through COVID, all through the whole pandemic, and now with vaccines. So we do need to take the time and thank those people for volunteering their time.
Councilwoman, I don't recall the numbers off the top of my head, but I know you had a huge turnout of people out there who, as the different segments of the population, the different age groups were eligible for vaccinations. You had big turnout in Ward 2, a lot of participation.
Yes.
First, it was people, over the age of what's I think 70 or 75.
70, I think it was.
And then we went to 65, and then it kept going.
Well,
from
one
there.
of the things that we do is we make sure that we're constantly sending out emails to Ward 2 residents or who's ever on our email list. It's not always just Ward 2 residents, but we have my list that I've collected, and we have the city's list. And so we regularly send out notifications about not only the vaccine, but all different things that we need to inform people about. So we are constantly sending out information to Ward 2 residents.
No, and it's been really helpful, especially now in the state of Nevada. Anyone over the age of 16 is now eligible to get the vaccine. And we're going to do everything we can to provide those venues across the city for people to get their shots.
Yes, and we'll continue to do that.
And again, before the end of the program, I'll say this again: contact information for the Councilwoman's office. They'll do a great job of getting you headed in the right direction for whatever your question might be. Councilwoman, I want to talk about this too. The Ahern Orchard. Now, a lot of people may not even know what the Ahern Orchard is and some of the good work that they do out there, but you do, so tell us about this.
Well, you probably wouldn't know about it because they don't advertise and they don't talk about all the good work that they're doing. And I just happen to know Lloyd Benson, who is the one who started this orchard with Don Ahern. And they've talked to me about it, I've toured it, and I said, oh, so I can come and buy some fruit and vegetables? And he said, no, absolutely not. We donate everything.
Wow.
And I thought,
well, where is it located, Councilwoman? I've lived here for all these years. I didn't even know that Ahern had
right
an
on
orchard.
Bonanza. Their office is on Bonanza, right next to that, and I guess the closest cross street would have to be Martin Luther King.
No kidding.
But I
didn't know it was there. I had no idea.
It's acres. I think it's like 10 acres.
No kidding.
And I have to say,
I drive by it all the time on 95. Didn't know it was there.
Exactly.
Wow.
And I just thought people needed to know the good work that they're doing. And I said, I have to come out and film this because I want people to know what you're doing.
Wow.
And they donate everything to Catholic Charities, 3 Square, all the food pantries, and
it's apples and lemons and limes, or what are they growing out there? Everything. Wow.
Everything.
No kidding.
They grow everything, and they're continually expanding and growing other things. And it was very interesting to talk about the horticulture aspect of it and how much Lloyd has learned about it, because this is a real passion for him.
Wow.
And I thought people should know the work that they're doing.
Well, I think all of us are learning something. I am, because we've all heard of the Gilcrease Orchard out toward Ward 6, but didn't know that there was an Ahern Orchard really close to the center of town,
That's
if
right.
you will. So, and good for them for donating all those things to the different...
So you can't buy it. If you want something, I'm sure they'll give it to you, but you can't buy it.
It's for people who have a bigger
in need.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, that's great. Well, good for them, and thanks for the info. Thanks for the info. Didn't know about it at all. And then, Councilwoman, let everybody know you recently appointed a new person to your Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, Mr. Mike Henley, right?
Right, and we did not appoint him. We reappointed him.
Reappointed him, okay.
And
okay.
when I met him, I thought he was so fantastic. He loves the parks. He's got a lot of experience working in city parks for years. And I thought that I asked if he would like to be reappointed because he's doing such a phenomenal job, and he did. And I'm very excited to have him carry on.
Good for him. You know, and we'll get a picture of Mike without a mask in the future. So don't worry. But as soon as the pandemic gets to the point where the masks go away, we're going to get a picture of him on there. So, Mike, we haven't forgotten you, and we'll take care of that. So, and Councilwoman, you mentioned Get Outdoors Nevada a couple times on the program already. You posted this on Facebook. You said, I want to thank Get Outdoors Nevada, Las Vegas, Aloha Lions Club, and the other wonderful volunteers that came out this morning at Angel Park to keep our parks beautiful by planting more trees. And Angel Park, of course, is right there kind of between Rampart and Durango.
Correct.
I guess the closest cross street would probably be what, Councilwoman? Alta and...
Alta would probably be the closest.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about all of our parks in Ward 2. We were able, a lot of it through the volunteers, and thanks to Great Outdoors Nevada, because they come together and we're just beautifying the parks. And I'm pretty excited. And I think people need to go out and check these parks out since we've done all the facelifts on them.
Well, we really love volunteers too, folks, because the city does a great job. We have a great Parks and Rec team, great crew, ground crews, but they can't get to every single thing. And when we get volunteers like that, you get a group.
We can
of
do
them,
so much more.
Yeah, and things happen a lot faster because instead of having, you know, a crew of 5 out there, now we've got a crew of 50. Yeah, you know, and things happen quick then.
That's true.
And we provide the equipment, the shovels, whatever else you need.
Everything.
We just need the elbow grease. And
That's
so,
right.
yeah, so thank you so much to everybody that came out and did that. And Get Outdoors Nevada, they're doing a great job.
We're lucky to have them.
Yeah, they are. They've
very lucky.
Worked on projects from our healing garden in the downtown to other projects like that across the entire
city. And our
city.
Parks Department, and Greg Weitzel,
amazing.
He's an amazing director, so lucky to have them.
All right, that is taking place out at Angel Park, which is, by the way, Councilwoman, we should mention, that's a kind of a hidden gem. People know the Angel Park golf course, but the park itself is right there as well.
It's amazing.
And it's very close to the trail system that connects to it and runs all through that area as well. Beautiful.
It's amazing how they all connect, right?
It is, and you can bike, walk your dog, run, whatever you'd like to do, and connect all through the area. So if you haven't been out there and you're a Ward 2 resident, it's right in your backyard.
Even if you're not a Ward 2 resident, you're welcome to our parks.
You'll be able to find them easily, very easily. And then, Councilwoman, you're doing something that's great on social media. If people follow you, they already know this, but for those who don't, she does Small Business Saturday, has a little segment where she highlights small businesses within the ward. You probably didn't know about many of these, and it's just a chance to tell you what's going on, and many of these places are literally within a stone's throw of your house.
Well, it has become such a success that my friend who's a commissioner in Douglas County asked if he could replicate it. And I told him he could, because he, like me, understands that we need to get the word out about our small businesses, that it's important to shop local, and it's important to support these businesses, especially because of the pandemic over the last year. But actually, I started it before the pandemic.
I know you did.
And I will continue it as long as I'm here, because we have some, like you said, incredible hidden gems that no one knows about. And now they do. So if you're a Ward 2 resident, you only have to call or email my office. If you're not sure you're in Ward 2, we'll let you know. You just give us your address, and we will come out and film you for our social media.
Yeah, we'll highlight your business. Councilwoman will highlight your business, and you got to be in Ward 2, and you got to be a small business. We're not going to highlight, you know, some major corporation, because they've got advertising dollars. But for the smaller businesses out there, hey, this is the information. We want to hear from you. You can contact the Councilwoman's office at 702-229-2420 or at Ward2 at Nevada.gov. And you do such a good job on those segments.
Thank you.
They're short. Get right to the heart of what the business is all about. You give the location. And I've learned so much. I've told you this so many times. It's like, I didn't know that business was there, or I saw the sign, but I didn't know what they were all about.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter what type of business. We've had everything from restaurants to dry cleaning to lawyers' offices.
Yeah, everything.
It really doesn't matter. We want to come out and we want to highlight.
Yeah, and let everybody know where they are and what they do. So it only makes our lives better all the way around. And then, Councilwoman, you posted this on Facebook. You said, today we had a very busy morning with our breakfast buzz and Ward 2 Biz at Eggworks. Now, this is another program that you do where you get out regularly and meet with the folks within your ward just over an informal breakfast.
That's right. And this is our second one since we've brought it back after the pandemic. And it's so popular. People come out, they break bread. They tell us about any issues they're having in the ward, and then they meet other folks in Ward 2. So it is such a nice
great networking
event.
Opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. So I encourage folks to get on our social media, our mailing list, because we are now doing it again once a month. At different restaurants in Ward 2.
Yeah, it rotates around, so you gotta check out the website, make sure you know, or her Councilwoman's newsletter will be in there. But again, very informal. It's not where you got to come down to City Hall and do any of that. It's just come on down.
It's in their neighborhood.
Yeah, come on over.
Because you're right. Sometimes it's hard. Oh, I'd have to drive to City Hall. I'd have to park. I don't know what And right there, it's right in your neighborhood.
Yeah, and it looks like you had some good turnout because we had to put it on hiatus for a little while, like so many things because of the pandemic. But glad to have it back. And again, great opportunity just to meet with you in person, meet with your neighbors just over a breakfast. So we will keep you informed on when those are taking place. We're also going to keep you informed on when the next shredding event is going to take place, because we had one that took place back on March 13th. Hadn't had one in a little while in Ward 2. Packed. Cars around the entire
blocks,
site.
So we are going to do another one. We usually do it twice a year, but because this one was so popular and we finally went a half hour over the time that we would be there. And we filled up the truck, and we had to turn a few people away. So we're bringing it back May 1st.
May 1 is another one.
We felt bad, but it was. I guess
truck
because
only holds so much.
They only hold so much, and we only allotted 2 hours, and we ended up there for 2.5. My husband actually came out and helped with this.
Because you needed extra hands.
We needed extra hands. So May 1st, we'll have another one, and we'll try to do them regularly now, but because of the pandemic, we hadn't done it in almost a year.
I think it was the perfect storm because of that, and then always around tax season, we seem to get a lot of turnout because people are getting rid of those old documents that have their social security numbers and things like that on it. So big turnout. And yeah, folks, if you're going to come out, just know that you're not probably going to be alone at these events. There's a lot of folks that come for the shredding. And it's a good thing because you're protecting your identity. You're not going to have some document thrown away that somebody might find and use to your detriment. So
again, something Councilman Stavros Anthony started, and it's such a hit.
Yeah, he did, and spread across the city. So, well, Councilwoman, great work with all of that. So again, May 1st, everybody, is the next shredding event. Is it going to be out at Veterans Memorial again?
Same place.
Same place, Veterans Memorial. Right there in the heart of the complex there with the
new pool.
Yeah, with the new pool, with the high school, and then of course the community center is there as well. Easy to find, plenty of parking and all of that as well. So, well, great job. That's a busy show. Lots in there.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to tell everybody, hey, we always want to hear from you out there. So if you have something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Seaman, you can find her on Facebook and Twitter. You can also contact the Councilwoman just by picking up the phone, 702-229-2420, or send her an email. The address is ward2@LasVegasNevada.gov, and she or one of her great staff will get right back to you and help you with whatever your question might be, even if it's not necessarily a city thing, right? We're good about that. So.
That's right.
Well, great work. We'll have you back in 6 weeks with another update from Ward 2. And,
we're really busy in Ward 2.
I can hardly wait to see what comes next. So,
thank you.
Thank you so much. Great work. And don't miss our next show beginning on April 29th with Ward 5 City Councilman Cedric Creer. You can now catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next time around.